Attention passengers. I'm Automatic. I'll be your pilot tonight, and I hope this stream and this flight find you well. I'm doing good. As you can tell from the title, we are, where are we flying from? Better check the title, right? Goffs, Nova Scotia, that's Halifax, Canada, to Boston, Massachusetts, United States. And so, yeah, thanks for joining. Thanks for coming aboard. Hope you have a safe flight. I'm going to try to ensure that. Let's just see. There we go. I think that, yeah, YouTube was having a little lag there. Alright, so we'll be departing at 7 a.m.
Tower Beechcraft 614 ready for IFR departure runway tree 2.
Looks like the weather could be a little better.
29.74 wind tree 27 at 10. Cleared for takeoff runway tree 2.
So yeah,
Takeoff runway tree 2 Beechcraft 614.
Yeah, we are Beechcraft 614. We'll be flying a Beechcraft here, obviously. We expect the flight to be less than 2 hours, probably an hour and a half, honestly. And the way I fly, maybe we can cut it down to an hour 15. So we're talking about a short flight, middle of the night, although in-game it's not. It's already 7:01 a.m., so we're a minute behind schedule. Bizarro! Which is, I believe, probably a twist on Beezer. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Welcome aboard. Have a seat. I gotta say that these flights, they're pretty chill unless something goes wrong. We're not talking about super high excitement, just more like chilling, taking a short flight, and shooting the breeze. Boy, that's a lot of stuff on the screen, isn't it? Let's try to clean that up a little bit. Also, an issue that I sometimes had with this game, because it's been a while since I've streamed it, is that got a lot of stuff going on, internet connection-wise. Because, on the one hand, we're streaming this game in order to play it, and we're also, literally streaming it to YouTube. So that's a couple things going on. Anyhow, I want to make sure I have my preset cameras in place. This one I use just to get to the instrument panel. This one I use to just kind of check the wheels without having to look at the instruments. Kind of an easier way just to see if the landing gear is down. What is this one? Oh. Why, this is one of your seats. And I do believe here's another one. So that'll be your view, I suppose. And once we get to cruising altitude, you're allowed to mill around the cabin, so enjoy the shit out of that, right? Damn it, I did. They say in the first few minutes of these YouTube streams you're not supposed to curse. That's what Casper and Zool reminded me last night. They weren't telling me not to. They were just saying that's part of the thing, whatever the thing is. I've already blown that. Okay, so as you can see, we're already starting on the runway. I believe there's a few minor details I need to see to. Let's see, our taxi lights are off. Pitot heat. Come on, there we go. Got our flaps down, our parking brake on. That's the warning you keep hearing. Barometric pressure. Altimeter 2974. Let's set that. And we are already cleared for takeoff, so we can do that at our leisure. Barometric pressure. What was it? 2974? Roger. And really, I think that's all we need to deal with in the moment. We will be, since we're heading to Massachusetts from Halifax, obviously, we'll be on a southwestern course. See if I can show you some of our flight plan here. That's as far as we can zoom out, but I could slide around the map, but it's not really worth it, right? I mean, point is Halifax to Boston. We'll be heading up and making a left turn, and then we'll be in business. We already hit Pitot. Do we have our taxi lights on? We might. No, they're off. Landing lights are on or off? I think they're on for takeoff, and we'll deal with them when we get in the air. All right. Yeah, I changed my name. I took a long break from the internet just to meditate on life for a while. And someone told me an OnlyFans girl calls her sex toys beezers. And I wasn't feeling that. Oh. Sounds like she's feeling that, though, doesn't it? No, I don't blame you there. I don't blame you there at all. Alright, strap yourself in, extinguish your cigarettes for the time being. Yes, you can still smoke on this flight. And we'll get you aloft. Here we go. Whoa, see what I'm saying? If that keeps up, I'll tell you, I'll cancel the stream if it gets real crusty. Alright, parking brake off. Giving her full power, because I'm an amateur. That's not really what you're supposed to do, but it's what we're doing. Weather's a little choppy over Halifax. Looks good in Boston, though, where we're headed. Yeah, I gave that too much power, clearly, but it's not a big deal. This Beechcraft has a tendency to want to turn to the left.
1 tree 5 decimal tree for Beechcraft 614. Moncton Center Beechcraft 614 is at 1,800 feet, climbing 10,000 feet.
Beechcraft 614, Moncton, center altimeter 29.74. Continue as planned.
Yeah. Let's get the flaps up too, so it felt like something was fighting me. And it was those damn flaps. Guess a little bit on course here. Pretty soon, once I have enough altitude, I'll start entering the autopilot stuff. That's a technical way to say it. I hope I didn't miss a waypoint. I might have already, and that would be bad. Alright. Let's see. Let's get autopilot on, yaw dampener on. Navigation mode on. 1/2 bank, we'll skip that. They want us at 10,000 feet. So we'll deal with the altitude here. Put this at 10,000. I'm letting her dip. Okay, our climb rate will be, let's do 2,500 feet a minute. Let's just hope the plane does what we want it to here. We're in the soup. It's not raining, though. And a bank to the left here. I do believe we're on course and getting above that, so that's nice. Very nice. Yeah, good stuff. Well, let's see. Beezer says, by the way, any loss of contact with you is simply a matter of me canceling all my social media, so I couldn't respond to notifications while on my walkabout, but I'm back on YouTube, obviously, and Discord. Right on. I won't take it personally. Sounds like it was across the board. Zero, welcome aboard. How are you? Good to see you, sir. How's life treating you, man? This will be Zero's seat for the time being. Boy, it looks lovely out there, honestly. I thought we were leaving a little early. I almost thought it would be nighttime because I wanted to see the sunrise, but whatever. We'll take it. We'll certainly take the good visibility, you know. I believe we'll be out over the ocean for a fair part of this. I don't know if it'd be a large bay or the North Atlantic, but that's where we'll be. Suppose we could check that out. They're still climbing the 10,000 feet. We're almost there. I assume air traffic control will give us something else once we hit 10,000.
Beechcraft 614 climb and maintain 16,000 feet.
Yeah, you got it. 16,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 16,000 feet, Beechcraft 614.
Let's crank this up to 16,000. Vertical navigation is already on. Vertical speed. We'll continue our climb rate of 2,500. Or, well, damn it, thereabouts. 2,600. What's 100 feet between friends? Oops. Nice. I'm doing really well, thank you. Yeah. Having good times. Went out to the VFW tonight, had a steak dinner with my family and my in-laws. Even my brother, sister-in-law, and nephews were there. And yeah. Had some beer. Had some Coors. The affordable beverage for those inclined. And I certainly am inclined. I did say something about turning off those landing lights. Don't think they want those on when you're in flight. A wing, navigation, recognition lights, the strobe, beacon, logo lights all on. Yep. Good deal. We're not going to do anything with the trim. Now, if I was going hands-on, I would. Just to counterbalance what the propellers want us to do. Which is to kind of bank to the left, is what they want us to do. Got the OMG logo emblazoned on the plane. Now, if anyways, just the letters. Just curious, does, this is Zero asking, just curious, does VFW stand for Veterans of Foreign Wars? Yep, yeah, you nailed it. Yes, sir. Of which I am not, but my father was. He did 3 tours in Vietnam. Truly, we go to that one.
614 climb and maintain flight level 240.
Oh. It's
Climb
supposed to
and
be
maintain flight level
low altitude
240,
flight.
Beechcraft 614.
They want us at 24,000 feet. Okay. But truly we go to that one because of my brother-in-law. He's a Marine. And I was tempted to say former Marine, but don't they say once a Marine, always a Marine? Shit, hold on. Our flight tracking doesn't look so good, I think. I click this little logo here. We'll center on the plane. Okay, that looks good. Let's zoom out a little bit. No, maybe we won't. Oh, yeah, we are. Okay, yeah, we will be going over the ocean, I guess. Unless, like, I don't know. That's probably a bay. Am I not climbing? No, I'm not. Thank you, air traffic control. Expedite. What's her hurry? We'll stick to the 2,500 feet per minute, I think. It's kind of a comfortable ascent. IMO? Yeah, and, you know, kind of the nice thing about the VFW is it's a bar, but it's kind of, you know, it's like a private bar, which is nice. A lot of familiar faces, a lot of the same folks. My dad went to a different one, I believe. You know what? I don't even know if he did. Boy, he frequented plenty of bars, though. But he could have and should have been a member. 3 tours in Vietnam. That guy did. Beezer says, my techno-deficient pre-geriatric pseudo-Alzheimer's tells me I don't understand how to send a Discord friend request to Otto unless Otto wishes not to accept. Can y'all tell me how to do that? Well, I would accept if I see it. Let me... I think the plane is fine. We're climbing, autopilot's keeping us on course. Yeah, let me check Discord. Because, hey, maybe I've gotten it. These are things I don't check. Okay, you know, I think I did get it. Doesn't appear that way anyways. Truth is, with Discord, I have so many notifications disabled. Just because if I don't, it's kind of constant, you know. Right-click on their name and then select Add Friend. Okay. Nice. Nice save, Zero. Thank you. Nice plane. I'm kind of taken with it. Albeit a prop plane, you know, it's, I like the jets because they're a little smoother. I really was tempted to do, like an Airbus 310. Thing is, I took a break from this game, and, in the interim, I kind of forgot how to fly the thing. It's certainly a little more complicated than this. Although, I would say at startup, the Beechcraft is kind of complicated for me, just because the propellers seem to entail a little more. Again, you know, I'm no pilot. That's not for me, is it?
Climb and maintain flight level tree 20 Beechcraft 614.
Sure is. Okay. Man, for low-level flight, they sure are pushing me higher and higher, but...
Mountain Center, allow 8, flight level tree 50.
I assume they know why, right? Like, if there's traffic, there's traffic. We gotta climb. What did she say? 340? 320.
Beechcraft 614 contact Moncton Center on 123.9er. Good day.
Going to 123.9er Beechcraft 614. Moncton Center Beechcraft 614 is at flight level 240 climbing flight level 320.
Beechcraft 614 Moncton Center. Continue as planned.
Thank you. That's my favorite message from air traffic control on this. Continue as planned. What I really hate is when they're like descend to, 18,000 feet, and then all of a sudden they're like descend to 10,000 feet, and you're like, dude, I'm still at 2,300. I mean, I'm still at 23,000.
Maintain flight level 330.
That wasn't for me. Was it?
Climb
Nope.
and maintain flight level 330 Emirates 210.
It's a UAE plane they're talking to. That's not me. I'm American. Flying out of Canada. Discord, just I don't know how to find Otto's name to click on. Not joking, I really suck at the silicon interfacing. Zero says, I actually, I'm trying to think how to help you with that, Beezer, by the way. Hold on. What's that? What? Cabin pressure? That's a problem. The reason why is I don't know how to deal with that. I could dump cabin pressure. I don't think that doesn't sound like the right thing to do. Cabin pressure altitude? I don't know. Do I move that up to 32,000 feet? I'm going to try. That seems logical. I don't know. I don't have any experience with this thing. But we'll bring this up to 32,000 feet, which means, damn it, I'm going to have to mess with it on our approach, too. I'd rather not. There's enough stuff to do when you're making your final approach. Why would that happen? Why are we stalling? Stop it with the stall. I still hear the engine running. Attention passengers, don't sweat this. This is normal. I deal with this every flight. I don't. That's just what we tell them. See, without even looking, I know we're not losing altitude. You would hear it, if it were drastic, obviously. I mean, it's like, that's close enough. What's this rate part? I think that's for climbing and descending. Alright, let's figure out what's going on with this.
Cargolux 5804 climb and maintain flight level 370.
I mean, I hate to say this, but kind of what I think is happening here is I don't think the Beechcraft is supposed to be at 32,000 feet. We need to stop that, but not forget that we have... Well, we don't have enough speed, but I feel like we're pitching up quite a bit. Don't let the passengers hear any of my concern, by the by. Although they can probably hear that constant stall. Look, I've got the engines cranked up as much as possible. I can't believe it. I mean, we're not pitched up that high, are we? Problem is, the plane's trying to climb to 32,000. And it's kind of wavering, see? I'd really like to stop that, though. Okay, here's what we do. This is what I think will be a solution. I don't think this plane's meant for 32,000 feet. So I don't know why air traffic control would give us that. We are going to request an altitude decrease by... Let's try to drop it by... Let's request dropping by 10,000.
Center, Beechcraft 614. Request flight level 260.
Beechcraft 614 descend and maintain flight level 260.
Thank you. Awesome.
Descend and maintain flight level 260 Beechcraft 614.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm hoping that's going to fix it. And I'm grateful that we're not really stalling. I mean, we are stalling, but it's not... Obviously, it's not that drastic. It's kind of just wanting to stall. And look at that. Pitch our nose down. I mean, truly, that's all it is. I could have taken manual control, but really, I don't want to exit. I don't want to disable the autopilot, to be honest. What are these warnings? Cabin altitude, use oxygen mask. Dude, hold on. Let's drop that back down. I don't even know if this is right, but it just seems right. Adjust cabin pressure, altitude, and then put in the feet. This is what I would assume one has to do. And in terms of rate, we're diving fairly quickly. You can hear it. Man.
135.3 for Airborne 9er.
We'll be patient with it. Worst case scenario, if something goes wrong, I'll ask for the nearest airport and put it down. We're honestly not that far from Halifax. We could turn back. But for now, we're just going to be patient, let this thing drop to 26,000 feet, and see how that does. Starts panicking. It's the first thing I saw in trying to catch up. It's the people's names, whichever server auto. Yeah, if you find me in a mutual server, this thing is going to level out, right? Actually, I actually like prop planes, but I do tire of the sound after a while. I feel that. Although it's kind of soothing, I don't know. Unless you're on mobile, in which case it's different. I even have issues with the mobile version of Discord. Okay, our descent is slowing. I don't know. I'm gonna maybe mess with the cabin pressure again. Starts panicking. We're all gonna die. No, I understand. Where you say couldn't resist. Yeah, you're going down. Hey, Lasso. I think your diagnosis might be spot on. I hope not, but it's possible, perhaps probable. It's like watching a plane wreck waiting to happen in real time. I can try. Not sure if Auto has invites enabled for everyone or not. I do. It's open. God, in most of my videos or streams, I have a link, but this time I don't. Instead, this time I kept it concise by just saying, "Thanks for flying," because I was uninspired. Alright, so all of this has to do with cabin pressure. I haven't blacked out yet. That's a plus. Should I try to dump cabin pressure? I'm afraid to do that, to be honest. And I think that's I think that's what we want to do with that, is put in the estimated altitude that we're at. Might be wrong, but it just seems the case. Feels like we're still... Okay, we're maintaining altitude. Our speed's good. Do I dump it? Dump cabin pressure. Oh, you only got normal and test. Dude, I can't I don't want that going the whole time. What's that? Did I just... No, I haven't fixed the problem. I just killed the alarm. The problem still exists. The problem hasn't gone away. But as long as we're not hearing about it, we'll be less annoyed before we pass out. How do I clear these? Fix the problem, Otto. That's how you clear it. Or is it the barometer? I don't know what that... I mean, I know it's... What is it? Barometric pressure or yeah. I'm really tempted to request an even lower altitude so we can breathe. Would be nice. Of course, I'm looking at my history to see if Tower ever told me a different setting for my altimeter. I'm not seeing it anywhere. Yeah, I don't know. Look, we're still alive. That's what's important. Still alive, still on course. Maybe we'll request a lower altitude. I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea where I screwed up. I flew this earlier, before the stream, and didn't have any problems with cabin pressure. This does seem like a seconds till disaster thing, though, doesn't it? It's like the pilot misread the warnings. Unfortunately, this particular pilot, autopilot, couldn't figure out how to depressurize his cabin or whatever. It's going to turn into that flight with who was the golfer? God, who was that golfer? Who was on a plane that they lost cabin pressure, became a ghost plane. This thing flew with everybody aboard and unconscious for like 4 hours, and then crashed in one of the Dakotas. Climb rate pressurization. I don't know what any of these do. Cabin pressure, altitude. You know, we surmise it. We want to match that to our actual altitude. This, just flipping buttons, folks. It's all you got is normal or test. And I don't know, like if I put it on test, I wonder. I wonder if anything comes up on the main screen if I put that on test. It's like no warnings or anything come up. I mean, again, problem is not solved. It's probably hard to breathe. Do you think, is it possible that I'm pressurizing the cabin as... Let's take this back down to like 8,000 feet. Maybe what it's... I don't know. Again, don't let the passengers know that I don't know. But I don't know. Let's bring this back down into something like that. My only other thought is to ask air traffic control if we can descend maybe another, I don't know, 6,000 feet, take us down to 20,000. I thought when they said climb to 32,000 feet, I kind of thought like, wait, we're not an airliner, you know, like, wonder what happens if you do black out in this game. Probably just goes to black screen. Slow down your ascent. That could have been it. That might stop it. Of course, now we're leveled out. I probably should have taken that advice. Because I couldn't... Because like this thing, where it says rate. Whoa, what's going on with that? That's not normal. I can't change it. Oh, that's weird. That is weird. Oh, we had that to test. No. Ah, that's what... The fuck was that? That was me. That was pilot error. Did we just bust us out of autopilot? No, we did not. Not enough oxygen, maybe. I think you're right. I mean, yes, you are right. I just don't... Yeah, we'll ask ATC if we can drop a little more. At what elevation can one breathe? Yeah, let's ask at least to go down to 20,000 feet.
Moncton Center, Beechcraft 614. Request flight level 200.
Beechcraft 614 descend and maintain flight level 200.
Oh, thank you. I don't know if that
Descend and
will
maintain flight level 200 Beechcraft 614.
help us, but I think it can't hurt. Strange way to fly a plane, eh? Just, you know, dealing with all the autopilot controls, obviously. I should just be taking the yoke and diving, but that would disable autopilot. Our rate of descent, we'll kind of take it easy on that this time. We'll drop at a rate of 1,500 feet per minute. Seems reasonable. Still getting those warnings though. Still getting that cabin altitude, use oxygen mask.
Expedite your descent flight level 200.
I believe that was for me. Okay. They want us to dive faster. Maybe they know something I don't know. Like, maybe they're like, shit, dude, you're gonna suffocate. You need to, speed this up. Alright, we'll descend at 2,600 feet per minute. Fuck it, we'll descend at 3,000 feet per minute. Meanwhile, in the back, see, passengers don't know any better. Maybe they can't hear that. Too bad the door's open. We should slide that shut. In my roleplay, that's what we would have done. I just sent an invite, assuming I sent it to the right Beezer. Nice! 0 to the rescue. Well played. Let me see if I can confirm it on my end. Yep, there's a message from Mr. Visa himself. Bro, this is Batman Stormtrooper mashup. Looks sick. What Odd Noble posted. That does look pretty sick. More intimidating than the original Stormtrooper, Beezer says. More fashionable than Batman's night camo. Yeah, that's true. This is true. Let's get back up in the cockpit. We still got those warnings, but heading down to 20,000 feet, I mean, I've got to imagine it's easier to breathe down here. Maybe you just can't clear those. And then maybe I just really fucked up when I started messing with the cabin pressurization. Although I did that in I didn't initiate all that. That was a reaction to the warnings. I mean, this is the kind of shit, like, if I wasn't streaming, I'd pause the game and look it up, but even then, it'd be the kind of like a rabbit hole trying to look up how to deal with that. And I'm truly wondering if it has to do with that number there, 29.74. This is our altimeter, which it's barometric pressure, and I don't know much about that. I just know when they read out the number you want to set your altimeter to, you do it. And I don't think, so far, Halifax did not give us, if they did give us an altimeter, I'm sure that I probably input the numbers inputted. That said, by the time we get in reach of Logan International, Boston Center or whatever, they'll give us a new reading. Captain Rob, how you doing today? Didn't manage to catch much of you sailing. I popped in very briefly, but kind of had a busy evening. But I do hope everything went well. How is Rob, by the way? I don't see how Batman could benefit from white plate armor, though. Beezer says that's right. Because he's supposed to be the Dark Knight. He just stick out like a sore thumb. What do you want looked up, Otto? Oh dear, I don't even know how one would phrase it. Okay, I shouldn't worry about being out over the ocean, because we could always land up in Canada somewhere if we had to. Well, I don't know how you'd phrase it. Like, I guess I'd look up Microsoft Flight Simulator cabin altitude warning, or oxygen mask warning, which is even scarier to read. But again, I don't know if you would want, I'm not asking anybody to look it up, because it might just be a rabbit hole thing. Because in addition to that, I'm in a Beechcraft. It might be different, say, for an airliner or for a Cessna than it would be for this. Can't imagine it'd be much different. It's just the solutions to it would entail different things. But yeah, I mean that's a big thing. Cabin altitude. Which the thing about cabin altitude is that's, I like to think that the cabin and the plane are all still together. You know, cabin altitude should be the same altitude as the plane altitude. No, I don't know. Certainly those things are probably synonymous in terms of warnings, but it almost, you know, if I read it literally, it's like, well, your cabin is way too high. Like, well, let's see. Zero says that's your barometer, not your altimeter. Your altimeter is what shows how many feet you are at. The barometer is showing your barometric pressure. Oh, yeah. I misspoke there. So that's my altimeter right there. It's putting us. We're kind of flirting with 20,000 feet. But barometric pressure, would that have any impact on cabin pressure, I wonder? Because I'm trying to play back in my mind if Halifax Center ever gave me a reading, and if I actually complied with that reading, or did I just take off with whatever was loaded in there from the previous flight, or whatever the default was. And honestly, it looked, I mean, there was pretty serious overcast in Halifax when we took off, which I'm sure has something to do with barometric pressure, right? Maybe, I don't know. And I wonder if that has something to do with the problem. I mean, the one silver lining that cannot be ignored is, despite these warnings, we're still flying. I haven't blacked out. The plane's not in a dive. It's just, I'm gleaning from that it's probably just not too easy to breathe up here. And I could ask to descend more. I mean, they've said yes twice. See if they'd let us go down to like 15,000 feet. We are just now getting over the North Atlantic. It's an airstrip.
Beechcraft 614, contact Moncton Center on 124.3. Good day.
Going to 124.3 Beechcraft 614. Moncton Center Beechcraft 614 flight level 200.
Beechcraft 614, Moncton Center, continue as planned.
So she didn't give me any updates, just continue as planned. Okay. Let me catch up real quick, because nothing seems to be dire right now. Let's see, pressure, oxygen density, maybe. Want me to look up? If you're bored and you feel like it, but again, I just don't know I don't know if the answer will be served up very quick, or if it would take digging. At which point it's like, yeah, well, Otto's still alive. Wow, glass cockpit. Yeah. This is it's not one of those. It's a newer plane, you know. It's got all the bells and whistles. Only thing about this one is the autopilot's a little janky. It's working, but it's got two separate deals. Like, you click autopilot, and in this model, in this Beechcraft, it'll, if this makes sense, it'll horizontally put the plane facing the right direction, all that. but it doesn't deal with your altitude at all. Whereas this vertical speed, vertical navigation, vertical speed control, that's what I have to hit. I have to mess with that to deal with the altitude, and of course these two as well. But say like on the big passenger planes, it seems like you hit autopilot and they're like, it'll take you up to 32,000 feet or 40,000 feet, and it will start its descent according to the pre-programmed flight plan. That won't happen in this necessarily. The only caveat to that is I've noticed that once you get cleared for approach, and you I'm so smart, I figured out when they tell you that you're cleared for approach, I click the approach button, then it actually will start to control the altitude. It's a strange bird, this plane, but I kind of like it. Prop plane, but modern-ish, I think. Certainly, if not on the outside. You know, as you point out, the glass cockpit. Alright. Catch up. Do we still have those warnings? Yep. Let's catch up. From the internet, in real life, not game. That'll work. The slower an aircraft flies, the higher the angle of attack must be in order for the aircraft to have altitude. Enough lift. If it does not reach the necessary stall speed, the stall occurs. Shortly after takeoff, an aircraft needs considerable thrust in order to simultaneously increase its speed and gain. And I think I gave it maybe too much thrust at the beginning. I'd say the red warning is critical in real life. This is Rob saying this. It should be telling you that cabin is not pressurized for the altitude you're flying at, but I don't know the sim. Sure, I think you're right. I think we should probably ask to descend a few more thousand feet and see if maybe that helps. I've been doing that incrementally. I was alarmed when they said climb and maintain an altitude of 32,000 feet. I was not aware that this plane could do that. And certainly the problem arose somewhere around 31,000, no, actually maybe somewhere around 30,000 feet, it seems. We started getting a stall warning. Our speed dropped to like 90 something, so even though it was giving us a stall warning, we weren't really descending. The plane was kind of waving, you know, it would start to drop, and then the vertical navigation system was trying to bring it back up. It was in vain trying to hit that 32,000 feet, but then you get a stall, it drop, and then it try again. So it wasn't the most devastating stall warning, but that's what precipitated these second warnings, these second two. And I think you're right. Red has got to be the real bad one. Which the interesting thing is then, use oxygen mask is in yellow. And I believe you're right that the color, I'm not saying that use oxygen mask, they're saying, if you feel like it, use it, but you know, not as dire. Water Draco, how are you, my friend? Good to see you again. Welcome aboard. We have a seat for you somewhere here. Right here. Hit a little turbulence there. Just a little bit. Yes, barometric pressure would have an effect on the pressure of the cabin, because you pressurize the cabin according to how many feet and how much pressure is outside the plane. I wonder if that's what part of the problem was initially. Maybe I didn't set that when Halifax, more than likely they tell you every time you take off what the barometric pressure is and what you should set that to. set the barometer to. Or at least that's my understanding of it. Your guess is as good as, if not better than mine. So, I appreciate it. But then again, I'm certainly not a pilot. I am less of a pilot. From the internet, in real life prop plane stall phase. All a pilot must do is push the nose down, roll the wings level if the aircraft is in a bank. This action reduces the angle of attack and reattaches the airflow over the wing. Once recovered, the aircraft can be pulled back from the nose down attitude and power added to get back on the previous flight path. That sounds right. Instead of doing it manually, what I did was you probably saw once we did pitch down, it did solve the problem. Gave us the speed we wanted. Now I want to say we're flying level. Rob asked, what's your altitude? If you can, try reducing altitude below 13,000. Currently, we are cruising at about 20,000 feet. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, let's do that. Let's request a descent of 7,000 feet. There's nothing else out here. I don't see any other planes on the radar.
Moncton Center, Beechcraft 614. Request 13,000 feet.
Beechcraft 614 descend and maintain 14,000 feet. Expect 13,000 feet.
Okay.
Descend
You're not willing to give me
13,000 feet. Expect 13,000 feet. Beechcraft 614.
Okay.
614 contact Boston Center on 133.45.
Okay, we're already getting in
Going to
contact with
133
Boston.
decibels for 5 Beechcraft 614. Boston Center Beechcraft 614 is at flight level 200, descending 14,000 feet.
Beechcraft 614 Boston Center. Continue as planned.
Let's drop 2,000 feet a minute. Okay, so we're in a descent heading for 14,000. They denied us 13,000, but they did say expected, like that once other traffic clears, which is funny because I don't see any other damn traffic on that. But well, once this presumed traffic clears or this flock of birds, maybe they'll give us 13. If red warning corrects at lower altitude, you have a cabin pressure leak, and I do have some incidents enabled, so that is possible. Plus, I don't know if you can hear the wind. I can definitely hear the wind, and I don't know that might be normal for a dive. Maybe that might be the only reason I'm hearing that. Our speed is I gotta pull back on the throttle a little bit. We're almost in the red, RPM wise. Which, yeah, there it was. You just saw it. Hopefully, go from red to black. We're back in black. So that was helpful. Yeah. Unknown. Whoa! Look at this. Look at that. They cleared. We're clear. Okay. That was so weird. And maybe that is what was going on. It's a cabin pressure leak. Because if you had a cabin pressure leak and you dropped to a breathable altitude, it'd kind of be null and void, right? Is my guess. I don't know. Beezer says it may therefore be related to airflow alterations made when the plane's movement is causing air changes around the props. This could mean the props lost traction in the air. Maybe even that the props don't have enough oxygen to keep burning fuel. I wonder if that was the case up at 30, whatever we were at, 30,000 feet. I forget where we topped off, but this plane was not getting to 32,000 feet. And again, I wonder why the game would tell you that. Why ATC would instruct a plane like this to fly that high. You don't have to shut up. Bizarro. Bizarro. That's just a funny name. I like it. It's fun to say. Just curious, do you get to choose your voice in game, or is that chosen for you?
614 descend and maintain 13,000 feet.
I want to say.
Descend and maintain 13,000
I want to say you can
Beechcraft
decide male or
614.
female, maybe, and maybe there's regional dialects. I feel like I've heard a British accent, but I don't remember ever choosing the voice. It probably just saw North America and went with it and chose a male voice. Maybe that's just the default, but I don't know if they take a look at where you're at and determine it based on that. So what do we have over here to the starboard? To the right. Sorry. It's definitely Canada, right? Or maybe that's partly Maine. Hell, we're probably flying over New Harbor soon. Let's zoom out a little bit. I mean, actually, good portion of our flight.
614, please expedite your descent 13,000 feet.
Oh, you're letting me go to 13,000 now? I missed that transmission. Copy that, Boston Center. We are descending to 13,000 feet. Thank you very kindly. Good day. Yes, Rob to the rescue. I mean, that's exactly what did it. I don't know at what altitude it changed. It feels like it changed somewhere around 17,000, 16,000 feet. I still don't know where they want that barometer to be. It's funny, it's like I want to troubleshoot what happened, but on the other hand, it's kind of like it happened and it's over, you know? And in truth, we're... Oh.
Beechcraft 614,
Yep,
please
sorry.
expedite your descent 13,000 feet.
Roger that. Expediting our descent. That said, we'll actually drop... let's do 2,800 feet per minute. I don't know what's standard in terms of... I mean, truly, I guess what it boils down to is we're descending at 2,800. I think what it all boils down to is just your speed. I mean, you could run into overspeed if you're descending too drastically, but clearly we're maintaining speed. We haven't given it full throttle since I pulled it down a little bit. Which is another thing, going back to trying to climb to 32,000 feet. Clearly, I had it on full throttle the minute that we left the runway, which was a mistake for takeoff. I felt that. The plane wanted to slip. It didn't. I mean, it's not like it was laborious trying to keep it on the runway. It wasn't, but I could feel that it was not. It wanted it to move because I was going too fast, and it wanted to get in the air fast, and that wasn't great. But I don't know. I kept it full throttle all the way. I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, it wouldn't even hit 32,000 feet at full throttle. Like, we were giving it all it had. And it still wouldn't do it. I'm going to get a beverage here in a second, I think. That's a crushed can. That's not going to do. Let's see. I do have a pilot's license. My planes are just normally unmanned. Oh yeah. Okay. That's right. I forgot about that. You can't adjust the barometer. It's only for measuring outside barometric pressure auto. It's just there to let you know. But I can change that. I can change this, and I'm supposed to change it to match the barometric pressure. That would be this dial right here. I'm afraid to touch it right now because everything seems hunky-dory, you know? But I am in the habit of
the towers will tell you to change that, but I think you're right. What they'll tell you to do is match it with whatever that device is, to match the barometric pressure. Had to go to flight school just like the real pilots. We just never got to get in our planes. Would have been tight. Yeah, that is pretty damn awesome. I like it. Hey, the other nice thing about being at this low altitude is once we do begin our approach, it's not going to be that drastic. Sometimes I feel like, they'll tell you to get down to a certain altitude, and you just don't have enough time. And I tend to be a little cautious and not descend maybe as fast as I should be. And so they'll expect you to hit some kind of benchmark altitude-wise, and when you don't, and they give you another one, and they're like, okay, yeah, we told you to get to 10,000, you're not near 10,000 yet, now we need you to be at 5,000. That's where I get screwed. Oh, they're talking to a Lufthansa plane. I wonder where he's at.
Lufthansa Cargo 8161 Boston Center. Continue as planned.
Okay. Well, I'm going to step away and get a beverage. I think the plane will be fine. We've got a brief period. That red line, I believe that's all going to be our cruising altitude. Obviously, the biggest portion of the trip, straight line. So I don't anticipate any problems. I will be right back to talk to you in a moment. In the meantime, I want to leave you with a plane view. Maybe an exterior view would be alright, because again, I don't anticipate any trouble. That said, I didn't anticipate any trouble, when we were trying to get to altitude. Oh, and since Rob's here, I mentioned earlier, do you remember the golfer that was on his plane lost pressure? It's like maybe half a dozen people on that plane, and it was a ghost plane, because everyone... It's like that Greek plane, Helios. It was Helios Airlines. I don't remember the flight number, but that was also a ghost plane. Everybody was unconscious. Obviously, it just ran out of fuel eventually and crashed. I'm trying to remember what that golfer's name was. I will look it up here as I step away. I'll be right back. If in the meantime you gotta go, take a parachute with you. Otherwise, I'll be back in probably 60 seconds.
Things still going according to plan. Rob says, I need to get up early in order to walk a couple miles. Right on. Whether I want to or not. I'm putting you on the big screen, so no more chat tonight. Take care, gentlemen. Thank you, Rob. Much appreciated again with the inclination to descend. That did the trick. In the interim, it's Payne Stewart aboard a Learjet is what did it. So, if interested, I'm sure there's some fascinating horror videos or Mr. Ballman video about Payne Stewart's flight. And then the Greek plane I was referring to, that was Helios Flight 587, bound to Athens, Greece, and not everybody was unconscious on that flight. That's a really strange one because I want to say F-15s intercepted it, flew alongside it, and that's how they determined they could tell the windows were frozen over, and they didn't see anybody moving on the plane. But then when the plane neared Athens, they did see somebody moving in the cockpit, and from what they were able to determine, it was a steward. They, for some reason, determined that he and his girlfriend, who was also aboard the flight, managed to get their hands on the oxygen, or at least thought to use it. But of course they couldn't give it to all the passengers. That was up to each individual person to put their mask on, and clearly they didn't, nor did the flight crew, in terms of the pilot and co-pilot. And so what that steward, ultimately what happened was he steered the plane away from downtown Athens and put her down in a field or into the mountains. Suffice to say, he saved people on the ground due to his last-minute maneuvers, and he didn't make audio contact with the fighter pilots, with the military pilots, but he did acknowledge them through hand gestures. It's just an eerie phenomenon, when you lose cabin pressure like that, and your autopilot's going to keep you flying. And I know in the case of Payne Stewart, it just kept...
614 contact Boston Center on 128.2. Good day.
I know in the case of the Learjet with Payne Stewart, it just kept him flying in a straight
Boston Center
line.
Beechcraft 614, 13,000 feet.
Beechcraft 614.
And we didn't want to shoot it down. Whoever the Prime Minister of Canada was at the time actually ordered his Air Force to shoot them down if they had entered Canadian airspace, but they never did. They ultimately went into a dive in North Dakota. But how strange, and at that point, there's really nothing you can do, because while the people on board might still technically be alive, they've been unconscious and without oxygen for so long that the best you could hope for is a permanent coma. I mean, they're just not. I think the only silver lining there is, from what I understand, you feel a little drugged, you feel a little drowsy, and you go to sleep. There's worse ways to die, I suppose. Nonetheless, God rest their souls. The people aboard that Learjet and the people aboard Helios Flight, what was it? Helios Flight 587. It's something. It's something. Payne Stewart, and I want to say, I'm going to type it out. Payne Stewart Learjet crash, and Helios flight 587. I think that's how you spell Payne Stewart's name. He was an eccentric golfer. He wore loud outfits, you know, and wore knickerbockers, and you know, he was a character. I guess the biggest difference between those two flights, certainly, excuse me, a little heartburn there. Oh, a little heartburn. Oh, God. Oh, God. And he blacks out. No. It's just the amount of people that were on that Greek airliner. It went in, I think, again, with the golfer, it was probably half a dozen passengers, if that. Not saying the Helios flight was fully loaded. I don't know how many souls were on board that. It's interesting, though. If you're familiar with Mr. Ballin, which would be spelled like that, he does a lot of fascinating horror is a channel in its own right. But Mr. Ballin is somewhat like that. He's an excellent storyteller. I'm assuming maybe one or two of you are familiar with him. He's got some good ghost stories and just true crime stories. Always does it expeditiously, you know. If you have kind of a morbid sensibility or curiosity about you, it's an interesting channel. And I think more so with fascinating horror, just because it's all morbid. Mr. Ballin will actually just sometimes he'll do ghost stories or, you know, chupacabra or something like that. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if he actually has a chupacabra video. If he doesn't, he should. Looks like we're gonna stay above the ocean for a fair amount of time. Not really gonna be above the coast until the last minute. One of the things I love about this game is how all these touch screens, you know, it's just cool that they all kind of work. I say kinda on purpose. But like, you know, you can press, like, I don't know what split does. Ew. Why would I need that? Why would I need that? Because I've got that. I suppose if you wanted to run everything, yeah. Convenience-wise, I would put it all on one screen. Switch it back to fuel. Or full, rather. It's just kind of cool. I'm afraid to click on other stuff because I don't want to get rid of that screen and not be able to get it back. Some of this stuff I could kind of toy with on the ground, I think. Yeah, some information that I don't pay attention to. Torque, ITT, prop. I'm not sure what I'm looking for with all those. Obviously, you want to keep things out of the red, I suppose. That's about all I know of it. And this Beechcraft is a little less intimidating than an Airbus. Most of the buttons work. Like these ones over here, I don't think. A lot of them are, yeah. A lot of them are inoperative. But then some of them do, as you can see. And this is not a study level plane in that, like, if you wanted to fly one of these in real life, playing this model on Flight Sim is not necessarily going to do it for you. That said, for instance, an Airbus A320 is a study level plane on this game, whereas the Airbus A310 is not. So I guess that what that implies is...
614 climb and maintain flight level 220.
Nope, I'm not climbing the 22,000
Climb and
feet.
maintain flight level 220 Beechcraft 614.
Negative.
Beechcraft 614 climb and maintain flight level 290.
No.
Climb and maintain flight level 290 Beechcraft 614.
We're just going to outright ask them for an altitude decrease of 10,000 feet from what they're ordering us.
Boston Center Beechcraft 614. Request 3,000 feet.
And I don't even want to climb to 19,000 feet.
Beechcraft 614 climb and maintain flight level 290. Expect 3,000 feet.
Climb and maintain flight level 290. Expect 3,000 feet.
No, I don't want
Beechcraft
3,000
614.
feet. That's wrong. That was incorrect. We're not going to do anything. Not unless we get a traffic warning. We're going to maintain altitude. If this were real life, I'd just tell ATC that. Just tell them we experienced problems at 30,000 feet, so we can't risk that again. So they'll get on our case, but maybe we can disregard our last request. No, we can't. Alright, so really what we want to do, we're at 13,000 feet.
Beechcraft 614, please expedite your climb, flight level 290.
I can't. We'll cut you a deal. I'll climb 6,000 feet. And we'll see what it says.
Boston Center Beechcraft 614. Request 9,000 feet.
I see.
Beechcraft 614 climb and maintain flight level 290. Expect 9,000 feet.
Okay, so now they kind of have us
Climb and maintain flight level 290.
at 9,000
Expect
feet.
9,000 feet. Beechcraft 614.
Let's add 4,000 more and see if they'll just let us stay at the altitude we're at. So, increase by 4,000.
Boston Center Beechcraft 614. Request 13,000 feet.
Beechcraft 614 climb and maintain flight level 290. Expect 13,000 feet.
Okay, we're not going to climb. We're
Climb
just
and
going to
maintain
expect
flight level
13.
290. Expect 13,000 feet. Beechcraft 614.
I love Mr. Ballin. Yeah, cool. Check that out. Be back soon. Smoking. Oh yeah, I feel that. This is really cool. Beezer says, I imagine some of the things you're learning in this game carry over the flight classroom. Yeah, I think that's true. Maybe not for this specific model, but the ones that are tagged as study level planes, that is the absolute intention with them, that they can be used in, simulator cockpits and stuff like that. I think it's cool. That said, I can't fly the A320 because it's a study level plane. I'm allowed to. I'll just be honest, I can't.
Please expedite your climb, flight level 290.
Negative. I just can't get the thing in the air because there's too many buttons. I don't understand it. Seeing as the A310 is not a study level plane, I used to be able to fly it in this game, but it's just been so long that I'm too rusty with it. That said, its autopilot system, you know, so I mean, we're talking about a very common plane, the Airbus A310. The autopilot system on that is a godsend. I mean, it just does the work for you, as this one sort of does. It's nothing compared to those big commercial airliners. In terms of in this sim.
Beechcraft 614, please expedite your climb, flight level.
I tried to reach 30K, Captain, but she just won't budge, Captain. I'm giving her all she's got. And now I will bow out to go smoke. In a way, it'd actually be a decent prep for the classroom if you want for a pilot's license. It's relaxing too. It is relaxing. Yeah, they put a definite. They earmark things as either study level. And I don't know how many study level planes they have among your plane options. I know they've probably got half a dozen I can think of right off the bat, but it is relaxing. I mean, whether you're doing a flight like this where, let's be honest, there's not much to see. I mean, part of that is just where I'm flying right now, you know, but then again, like last night, I flew around Manhattan in a Cessna, and that was cool, flying by the Empire State, the new World Trade Center. I avoided the World Trade Center like the plague, because if I had hit a building on accident, it would have freaked me out. I'm not cool with that. But it was kind of cool. It was just kind of cool doing some sightseeing. And the way they render some of the stuff, I mean, the Empire State Building looks great. The Statue of Liberty looked detailed. You can see ships in the harbors.
Please expedite your climb, flight level 290.
Oh, alright, you look, bitch. Boston Center. We will expedite. I'll do it. Just to get her to shut up, I'll start making her climb. But really, I'm just going to want to descend again after that. She said expect 13,000 feet. But I am kind of worried about when we're going to get those warnings again. I think Rob's suggestion that we might have a leak. That sounds reasonable.
Beechcraft 614, please expedite your climb, flight level 290.
Beechcraft, Boston Center. We're fucking doing it, okay? Just get off our case. Like, I don't know what she wants us to miss out here. I have a suspicion that somewhere in the 20s we're going to start to see those warnings again. If my plane stalls, can I replace the factory warning voice with Bill Paxton shouting, "Game over, man!" Can you fly into North Korean airspace? That's a good question. Yeah, I have not tried. The only Asian area that I've flown over is Vietnam, because I wanted to fly over Phu-Bai, because that's where my dad spent a lot of his time in Vietnam. He was attached to an artillery regiment. Yeah, there we go. We're getting a stall. Well, that might be our speed. Let's give it full speed. Let's slow our rate of ascent. Where would that be? That's here. There, we're climbing. Not very fast, so let's fix our attitude a little bit. We'll just do 500 feet per minute. I mean, at that rate, we might as well just be cruising. We're just on a slight upward trajectory. Also, I flew to Guantanamo Bay in this game, and they actually, like, they gave me warnings, and so I didn't touch down. They told me I could not land there. And I ended up landing on a beach just outside of it. But that was my only experience in this, in terms of ATC telling you, like, this is a restricted area. I bet if you're flying a fighter jet, they do let you land there, you know. I'm sure that's, because otherwise they wouldn't have it marked as a destination. Of course, they've got, I mean, here in Ohio, we've got a little grass strip out by a place called Buckeye Lake. It's owned by a private family. It's in this game. So, I mean, they have I know I haven't mentioned them on the channel for a minute, but Quick Smoke's grandfather owned a little airstrip in Vermont. It's in the game. So, I think anything registered as an airstrip is in. Another thing, I mean, like, I've flown over my house in this game. I've seen my house. I've seen places that I've gone on vacation to. I mean, as the game says, you can fly anywhere in the world, and it's in the game. Sometimes you'll see some variations, like, for instance, I flew over Myrtle Beach to see one of the hotels that we often stay in, and while the hotel itself might be 14 stories tall, in the game it was only 5 stories tall. They still had the footprint of it right. They still had the parking lots right, but it was a lot shorter. And I'm sure you are, you know, in developing this, they are going to overlook some stuff like that, because they're not, you know. But anyway, my point is, like, downtown Columbus, not only can you see all the skyscrapers, you can even see, like, for instance, there's a building downtown called the Motorist Building. It's the old insurance company that used to operate out of that building. As you fly by it, you see the word motorist at the top of it, like. So I mean, it's not just like the top down, like they're actually getting. I think what they do is they use it. They also use like Google Street View or whatever to help fill in the blanks, and you get some of that signage and stuff like that. I mean, hell, yesterday when I was looking at Manhattan, I saw on the side of of a building, just a random building, not a famous one, an advertisement for Coca-Cola, and it's you know, it's really there. It's a modern advertisement. Probably in 6 months it'll change because they refresh this stuff. I only know that because about a year ago when I was playing this, we have a YMCA not far from our house, and it's a new build. And in this game, when you flew over it, you just saw construction equipment and all that stuff. It wasn't done. So I kind of surmised, like, oh, okay, so the information they've loaded into this game is a little dated. In fact, there was a tree in my front yard that we had chopped down. So I was like, all right, yeah, that's kind of old. However, a few days ago, I flew over Columbus, and the YMCA is completed, and the tree in our front yard is actually chopped down. So It's kind of nuts. And I missed his reaction to that great quote. The Bill Paxton quote. Or the Scotty quote. Yeah, not just my house, but like I said, the freaking tree in our front yard. Like, it was there, or it wasn't there, and then it was there. Why are we? Oh, okay, yeah, we're making that turn. Cool. Zero, you've got me wanting another smoke. Once we complete this turn, although I don't anticipate, I said that last time, but I don't anticipate any problems. We are climbing, but we're climbing so slowly that it doesn't really matter. I think we'll be fine. That said, I am anticipating those warnings again. Strange though, we're 21,000 feet and we haven't hit those pressurization warnings yet. So I imagine it should happen any second now. Yeah, I'm gonna go grab another puff. Why not? I'll give you the passenger view. Oh, that's kind of cool. Another thing I can do is disable these points of interest, like, let's see if I focus on that, won't show me, nope. But you can see like a little white dot out there. Essentially that's going to be like a famous landmark or a bridge or something like that. Maybe even an airport, but guess I'm not close enough for it to tell me what it is. Yeah, very soothing game. I can kind of get lost in this. The Scotty quote. My reaction was laughing, but I will repeat it, other than laughing, because, well, there you go. I tried to reach 30K, Captain, but she won't budge, Captain. I'm giving her all she's got. Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor. I'm on phone now. Internet died again. Ouch. Hard not to enjoy a good bowl of resin. Till you get those resin headaches, damn it. Oh, desperate times, though. Desperate times call for desperate measures. God, you've inspired me, Zero. You bastard, you dog, you dirty dog. Alright, be right back. Yeah, your flight attendant will be around. Peanuts when I'm gone. Yeah, we have permission to mill about the cabin now. Well, back here's a comfy little seat. A love seat, maybe? No, not really. Wonder, is that a hatch? Oh, this area is probably for luggage and stuff, yeah. And here's an extra seat. There'll be a jump seat for our executive stewardess. It's an exit hatch. Let's open that up now. I don't think you can open that up, which a few of the planes you can actually open the doors. Some of them, this is not one of them, is it? Oops. Okay, let me try to go back there real quick. Some of them you can like fold out tables and stuff. I don't think I can with this one. Damn it, why do I keep doing that? I don't think I can with this one. No. This looks like it wants to slide out like a little table. So yeah, it's kind of cool on some of the planes you can do that. You can perform those little tasks. Up here we got all our lighting options. Although flying at night, I could probably do it. In fact, I intended to take off under darkness. I thought 7 a.m. would do it, but the sun was already up. Yeah, but what is that? Is that that's got to be like the air outside, right? It's pretty freaking cold, honestly. Pretty cold. Luckily, I don't get resin headaches. The only time I get headaches is zero. The only time I get headaches is if I accidentally smoke some seeds. But I also only smoke when I'm short on money anymore. Usually I use dabs. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it does cost money. Anymore though, it's almost cheaper than tobacco, at least at the rate that I smoke tobacco. How we doing on our flight level? It's funny we haven't gotten those warnings again. I would love to know what initiated all that. And I just don't think I will. Now I'm starting to think that we don't have a leak, because something tells me naturally that would kick in again at a certain altitude. Maybe it had something to do with me messing with all that stuff down there. I should have not done that. I should have just argued with ATC and told them, hey, I don't think I can fly at 32,000 feet. Let's see what other knobs and controls, damn. A lot of this stuff I just flat out, I don't know what it does. This is stuff that I shouldn't be touching during flight, because this would kill the engines and stop the propellers, all that bad stuff. Important during startup, but I don't think I've used. You can start these planes dark, you know, like on the tarmac, no power. You gotta run it from startup. I have not done that with this particular plane. I have trouble doing that with any of the propeller planes. And the one that I could do that with was certainly the Cessnas and the old planes, like the Jenny or the Spirit of St. Louis is a plane you can fly. The Wright brothers plane. That stuff's simple to fly because there's really not much in the way. It's just not very complicated, you know. But again, I took the time to, through watching YouTube videos, I took the time to learn how to start up the Airbus A310 from dark. Am I saying that right? From dark? You know, from being powered down. Which is cool. Like, you get in contact with the airport, they'll extend the ramp and connect it to your plane so passengers can board. They'll bring luggage out. They'll bring catering services aboard. You can hook up to the airport power supply instead of running your batteries down. You can determine how much fuel you want aboard. All that stuff. It sounds more complicated than it is, especially with a non-study level plane, but nonetheless, I still had to look up how to get it started up. But it was just fun to fly, just because, I mean, big ass passenger plane, you know, that's cool. And I haven't purchased much in this game except for an old German plane. What would that would be like the JU. I don't remember offhand, but obviously a 1930s plane. Another one that's should be rather simple to fly, but startup's a little weird with it because everything's in German.
Beechcraft 614 descend and maintain flight level 180.
We can do
Descend and
that.
maintain flight level 180 Beechcraft 614.
Well, she's totally disregarded my request for 13,000 feet, but 18,000's fine. It's clear to me that Boston Center is prepping us for our final approach. I mean, we're still a ways out. But...
Contact Boston Center on 128.75.
Oh, that's not Boston Center. We're talking to Montauk, I guess.
128.75 for Beechcraft 614. Boston Center
Why
Beechcraft
isn't that
614
working?
is passing flight level 265, descending flight level 180.
Beechcraft 614 Boston Center. Continue to Nico as planned.
Let's descend at 2,500. Yeah. Center on plane. Yeah. We're getting there. All these waypoints, it's kind of funny that this one's WATT, WAATR. It's like water. I don't want to hit a waypoint called water when I'm above the ocean. That doesn't sound right. I do believe the free air temperature is the outside temperature. I hope so. Yes, it would be extremely cold at those altitudes. Yeah, probably especially up there by Nova Scotia. Of course, at this point, we're above the Atlantic and closer to the United States. We're probably in U.S. airspace already. Zero also he says also that free air temp sensor might not have a shield and therefore it might be including wind chill as well. That's a good point. Though I really know nothing about airplane sensors and how they're made, I'm just guessing. Yeah, that's all I can do as well. But it sounds reasonable to me. For sure. One of my favorite flights in this that I did on stream was flying that Airbus A310 at night, and it took me a few tries to get comfortable with that, because obviously that was instruments only. It wasn't until I was well into my final descent before I could actually discern what lights were what. Certainly the runway lights. You know, I might actually argue that it's easier to spot the runway at night with all the lighting that they have than it is during the day. But otherwise, I felt like I was flying blind. I had to use instruments only, right? And then weather. Ooh. You got the choppy air, you got zero visibility. It can be a mess. We're in the red speed-wise. Let's pull back on the throttle a bit. See if we can get that back in black. Yep, there we go. Perfect. We're almost at 18,000 feet. I think once we hit it, I'm going to request something a little lower in anticipation of them putting us even lower than that. And it's weird, while I say that we are close to the end, you've also got this little shit. That was my fault. You've also got this little dog leg here. Just going to add time. Sometimes when I do that, I accidentally hit the yoke. I don't know if you hit it hard enough, you can disable autopilot. Sometimes you don't necessarily realize you did it, but it's still on.
Beechcraft 614 descend and maintain 12,000 feet. Keep speed not above 250 knots.
Roger that.
Descend and maintain 12,000 feet. Keep speed not above 250 knots. Beechcraft 614.
Thank you, co-pilot. You can enable or disable the co-pilot to handle radio transmission, so you can do it manually. I just find it's way too cumbersome. It's a lot easier to just set it to automatic. You can also have it so your co-pilot takes over the controls, but I've disabled that as well. Because early on I realized that he'd take control of the plane at odd times, and I was not cool with that. There were a lot of times where I felt like, why is my plane doing that? And that's exactly what it was. It was the co-pilot. Yep, 2,500 feet per minute again. That's my go-to, I guess. I could mess with it a little bit, try to drop it 3,000, but she did say to watch our speed. Speaking of which, yeah, we are climbing. In fact, I better do something about it now. Not pitch trim.
Beechcraft 614 contact Boston Center on 133.25. Good day.
There we go. We got ourselves slowing down a little bit.
25 Beechcraft 614. Boston Center Beechcraft 614 is at 15,600 feet, descending 12,000 feet.
Beechcraft 614 Boston Center altimeter 30.12, continue to Terry as planned.
To Terry? Oh, that's a waypoint, yeah. Next they're gonna say water. Continue to water as planned. I'm sorry, can you repeat your last? Well, good day, sir. Plasman, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. What in-flight movie and meal? Oh, maybe Plaz caught some of my Airbus flights, because I did tend to play an in-flight movie. Usually I just find the most campy thing I could possibly find, and I found footage of a stewardess setting up the movie stuff, and so I just played that. Any of the Airbus flights, I did that. I don't have one queued up, and I didn't do it even back then with planes like this, just because I figured, nah, they're not gonna have one. So unfortunately, it's peanuts, if that. We'd be lucky to get peanuts. In terms of in-flight entertainment, I mean, 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer. No? Oh shit, all the passengers jumped out. No. Okay, we're almost at 12,000. I wonder, can we just request 10,000? Huh, strange. They're not even giving me that option anymore. That's alright. 12,000's fine. We're low enough. Beverly Regional Airport, obviously. Wonder if that's in Maine. Of course, we're pretty far south now, aren't we? We're down. We're probably in Connecticut territory. Or we might already be off the coast of Massachusetts. There it is, the US of A. Sometimes I get a little screen shop as well. I wonder if that's an emergency exit, though. Must be, right? Is there one corresponding on the other side? Yeah, there is. That's so somebody can climb out on the wing
614 descend and maintain 6,000 feet.
and perform maintenance mid-flight.
Descend and maintain 6,000 feet Beechcraft 614.
Okay, 6,000. I had just barely reached 12, didn't I? Yeah, let's try to descend at 3,000.
614 contact Boston. Approach on 118.25. Good day.
118.25 Beechcraft 614. Boston approach Beechcraft 614 is at 11,200 feet, descending 6,000 feet.
Beechcraft
Yeah.
614 Boston, approach altimeter 30.
Kind of a steep turn here.
Continue to PLGRM as planned.
I can mitigate that by, in autopilot, you can do half bank, which is a little more tolerable for passengers, but this is not extraordinarily steep. We do have, don't we have a tight turn coming up? I would say the tightest part is going to be right there. Now we're seeing other planes on the radar. Wonder what happens if you fly over Groom Lake. What is Groom Lake? I'm ignorant of Groom Lake. Time to stretch this bucket of bolts. Give the old girl full throttle up, Captain. Oh, you meant the plane, not the bed. Well, that's what we need. We need a bed on this plane. Alright, we are just about at 6,000 feet. Well, we have flown without incident since we reached that. You know, it seems like all the problems we encountered were early on, and we survived. The rest of the trip has been rather pleasant. Are those ships down there? Or islands? Little of both, maybe. Alright, now we're on that dog leg. I'm really just waiting for her to mention final approach. I'm thinking, like, should I put it on half turn? Half bank, that is.
Beechcraft 614, you are 11 miles east. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect vectors ILS runway, tree, left approach.
She said approach.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect vectors ILS runway, tree, left approach, Beechcraft 614.
Let's see if autopilot keeps us on course until this next waypoint, which is BENNN. If autopilot handles that, I'll hit approach right when I reach BENNN. Otherwise, I'll have to hit it. The plane's still maneuvering. Autopilot's still doing its thing, which is good. If I do everything right, it will damn near bring us right in. The only time I'll have to take manual control is, you know, the runway will be in sight. But I'm not entirely clear on when the precise moment when you should hit autopilot approach mode. And I mentioned it earlier, I think what's funny about that is when you do hit the autopilot approach mode, it starts to control your altitude as well. As you know, if you've been on board this flight throughout, autopilot doesn't do that mid-flight. I guess my point is, it has the capability to control your altitude. It just won't unless it's in approach mode. It's kind of weird. You would think, like, well, if it has that capability, couldn't it do that at any time? But I guess not. Thank God for my smartphone, because my internet keeps connecting and disconnecting and connecting and disconnecting. This is zero, of course. I say of course as if you're plagued with these problems generally. I just say of course because you mentioned it earlier. I'm going to have words with my internet service provider later. I feel that. Hell, I'm surprised this stream hasn't gone kaput. Just because, yeah, I don't have this. This game is not on my hard drive. I'm playing it through the cloud. It's actually performing fairly well, all things considered. But doing that in conjunction with doing a live stream is kind of... I thought that would be kind of risky. I feel like I've had problems with that before. But, knock on wood. Is there any wood anywhere? Stand by.
Beechcraft 614
Right here.
and maintain 4,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet, Beechcraft 614.
What did they tell me? Shit. What did they tell me? 4,000. 4,000. Can do. I don't want to do it manually. I'd love to just stay in autopilot for now. I'd really like to maintain that till the very end. Hit vertical speed. Vertical speed control. Let's again do 3,000, because that seemed to go fine. It's not too steep, I guess.
Beechcraft 614, you are 20 miles southeast of Boston. Maintain present heading and altitude. Contact Boston Tower on 132.225.
So Boston Center is somewhere
Maintain
over here.
present heading and altitude. Tower on 132.225 Beechcraft 614. Boston Tower Beechcraft 614 miles southeast inbound ILS runway tree left approach.
That's it. They just said approach like that. I think.
Altimeter tree 0.14 wind tree 12 at 7. Cleared ILS runway tree left approach.
Okay.
Cleared ILS runway tree left approach Beechcraft 614.
I don't know how to clear that 4,000. I don't know that I need to. Do I? Probably not. Okay. Yes, so it's time to hit approach, I think. I'm going to wait until just after I pass waypoint BENNN. And there it is. Let's... God, but it still seems like autopilot's doing its thing. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's kind of my mentality here. Maybe we'll wait till Koha's. We'll do it before Leonard Nimoy. Some of those Star Trek references.
Clear to land runway tree left.
I'm getting worried. I need
Clear
to...
to land runway tree left generic 453.
Or no, we're still a ways off, aren't we? I thought maybe we need to descend more. I wonder if we'll be able to see downtown Boston from Logan International. I bet you can. Bizarro says, Siri's granddaughter is pranking you, Zero. I remember when kids would light flaming bags of dog poop on people's front porches, ring the doorbell, and run. Maybe chat GBT 30,000. 30 million is doing the same. He called the shit poop. So, white dot wise, the airport, that might be it right there. I bet that is it right there. I can kind of see a runway. Just barely. It's probably a freeway. But, same diff. Okay, let's go ahead and hit approach, I think. What did I... Yep. Okay. Please work. I might have hit it too early. My altitude's not changing. Am I up to date with where Boston Center wants me to be? They're talking to other planes, not me. Okay. So either they've forgotten about me, or... God, let's...
Boston Tower generic Papa X-ray Golf 453
We better
is
descend.
showing missed.
Let's descend at least 1,000 feet.
Contact Boston. Approach on 120.
I know I don't have authorization to do that, but
Good day.
we're getting close, and I'm not comfortable being at this height. We're only dropping 1,000 feet. It will take exactly 1 minute.
Going to 120 decimal.
There's the runway. So yeah, that was it. I just don't understand why approach mode has. Maybe I click it off, and then I'll click it back on after we pass Nimoy. We are not lined up right. Alright. Hit approach again. This isn't right. Oh wait, it just made an adjustment. I'm not sure. Yeah, we're way close. We're not making that. We're not making that. Oh well. Fuel low. Damn. Okay. Great timing on that. That's our runway. What? Alright. Let's contact ATC. Tell them we missed. Declare missed approach.
Boston Tower Beechcraft 614 is going missed.
Beechcraft 614 contact Boston. Approach on 118.25. Good day.
Okay.
118.25 for Beechcraft 614.
What's the difference there? Report missed approach.
Boston approach Beechcraft 614 is missed approach at Boston.
Beechcraft 614, you are 1 mile northwest. Climb and maintain 7,000 feet. Keep speed, not above 230 knots. Expect RNAV X-ray runway, tree, left approach via YOU UK transition. Cleared to YOU UK.
Climb and maintain 7,000 feet. Keep speed, not above 230 knots. Expect RNAV X-ray runway, tree, left approach via YOU UK transition. Cleared to you, Beechcraft 614.
Climb to 7,000. Damn it. I should have taken manual control as soon as I realized that was the runway. Speaking of which, I'm really tempted to disable autopilot at this point. Because we gotta go back to waypoint Nimoy. Is the plane gonna do that itself? Should that be on or off? Screw it. Autopilot's disconnected. Okay. Bank to the left. Come back around. Huh, they're telling me to re-engage autopilot. I don't trust that. I also wonder about our fuel. No way. It wasn't that a bad sound? It sounds like this thing's powering down.
Beechcraft 614, please expedite your climb 7,000 feet.
No, I can't. Negative ATC, we're gonna, I don't know how to do it in game, but we want to declare an emergency. Hey, there's downtown Boston. Haha. Just like Fallout 4, right? Not really just like it, but okay. As long as we can line up the runway. Fuel is not looking good. I really didn't think.
Please expedite your climb 7,000 feet.
I can hear the engine struggling. That's terrifying. Yeah. I'm even kind of afraid to give it more power because I don't want to eat up more fuel. We just need to get back out over the bay, turn left, and get back into that runway approach. It's going to be sloppy. Meeting House Hill. Look at me sightseeing. Kinda. Not that I can really see. Oh shit. No.
Beechcraft 614, please expedite your climb 7,000 feet.
Do we still have fuel or not? We do. We have just barely. How much thrust did I have? Damn. I'm giving it full power, and she's still descending. I need a visual in the airport. Is there another air? We're descending too fast.
Beechcraft 614, please
Tree.
expedite your climb 7,000 feet.
By Tony Montana. Yes, he does say tree. You're right. Dude. Why? We're at 900 feet. I need to dive to try to get more speed. I mean, why does it sound like our plane still has power? 300 feet. 500 feet, I guess. Passengers, brace for impact.
Beechcraft 614, please expedite your climb 7,000
We're going
feet.
for this beach. We're going for the beach. Where's our landing gear? Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Man. Well, we got to see Boston. I don't know. My biggest mistake was just not recognizing that was the runway, that approach mode, I did something wrong with that. Boy, I would have liked to have touched down. And then at the last minute, I'm like, well, let's do the beach, which was probably going to be instant death. I mean, you can land in a field or on a beach, but it's hit or miss. But we weren't even going to make that beach. Especially if I had lowered the landing gear, which I had trouble doing anyways for some reason. That would have created more drag and just brought us down even quicker. In truth, a water landing would have been better if I had not pitched down so hard. I can't remember, but I think you can do a water landing, but I might be confusing an emergency water landing with, what do you call those? Seaplanes. Because the game has seaplanes. Yeah, return to the main menu. Oof. Whew, man. And I've had a couple streams like that from back, when I was playing this on the regular. I like to say most of them I did touch down on the tarmac, but I know there were a few where I didn't quite make it. Crazy. So where we flew from, our flight path was from, there it is, Halifax International. Came through there, did that stupid little maneuver that cost us more fuel, missed our landing, and then came about like this, back out over the bay. I want to say we maybe crashed about there. It kind of looks like the island that we crashed near. Damn. That was our runway. Longest one they got, and we didn't do it. But truly, going back to where I was at 4,000 feet and probably only maybe that far away from the runway, I just thought, like, I could go nose down, but the idea of coming in so fast, either way, it would have been better than what ended up happening. Wow. Anyway, I'll give a quick look at the planes we've got. Wow, quite a few of them, though. There's the A-10. A310, which with a little refresher I could fly. I'm questioning whether I could land anything right now. There is the study level A320. One of the things that I kind of enjoy is the liveries. I've downloaded some decent liveries like American Airlines. I think we've got JetBlue, yeah. Don't we have? Oh yeah, United. Kind of a lot of these are vintage. That's a vintage United livery. So you got all those different liveries you can use. It's kind of cool. I know I mentioned a fighter jet. So there's the F-18. There's the 747. I cannot fly that. Can't fly helicopters either. I haven't done any of the tutorials for those. I would imagine they're rather complicated. I flew the Jenny last night. Very simple to understand, but very, very unwieldy. It was not a pleasant flying experience. I know I've flown the Daher a few times. Don't remember if I liked it or not. I haven't messed with any of those. They've got the Spruce Goose. I haven't flown that. That's one I haven't flown either. Also a classic plane. Yeah, the JU-52. That's one that I downloaded. Old German plane. Workhorse of the World War II German Luftwaffe. But it comes with so many variants, which is kind of cool. You've got a seaplane variant with floats. You've got a snow variant with skis, and then you've got a retrofit which adds a glass cockpit, modern technology to it, and everything's in English. Whereas this one, it's authentic. Everything in there is labeled in German. So, I'm kind of lost with that one. That said, it flies like a charm. I mean, it's slow, but very smooth. There's the Spirit of St. Louis. This is the one we flew and crashed, the Beechcraft. The Cessna 152 is the starter plane in this, and a lot of fun. A rather easy one to master. Cessna Citation. I think I've flown that too. That's probably similar to the Beechcraft, except for the jet. That'd be worthwhile. There's the Wright Flyer. Interesting. And that's all the ones that I have. Alright, I'm gonna catch up here. Yeah, what? Yeah, Pacino's character in Scarface. Oh no, oh. Zero, I think Montana was Cuban. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he was Cuban. Great movie. Beezer says that was cool auto despite the crash. I like that it has you thinking of solutions. Yeah, it really does, and I don't know. It's still a mystery to me why we encountered those problems early in the flight. That fuel warning. I knew. I kind of had it in my gut when I first saw that we were low on fuel. I was like, okay, there's some question as to whether or not we'll make it. And then when we overshot, oh man. Beezer says, I hear you, Zero. Great movie. Unfortunately for me, though, the chainsaw scene gives me long-term daymares, so I've only seen it once. You killed us all, Otto. I want a refund. Well, I want to say that it's your next of kin that will get the refund. You know what I'm saying? But it's the best we can do. And you know, someday they'll sail a boat out there and throw flowers and wreaths on the water to commemorate all of us. Except for me, because they'll be like, that's the bastard that killed them all. You must refund Zero, Otto. Since I was a stowaway, I balled up in the glove compartment. Can't really ask you for remuneration. Damn it, I should have paid. I guess in your case, you get what you paid for. No. I think I'll take another flight in the days to come and see if it goes any better. But I believe that will do it for tonight. I had fun. It was nice. You know, another thing I like about this particular title is I can keep up with chat, especially when you got autopilot going. I remember, now that I've said that, I remember that when I'm flying the Junkers or the Junkers, I'm not up on chat because this variant doesn't have an autopilot, obviously. So it was hard to keep up with chat because I had to keep messing with the damn thing. But certainly in anything modern, and probably would be true with the retrofit, that might have autopilot. It's no problem keeping up with it. But my goal is to fly the A310, the Airbus again. After all, I don't know about that livery. We got Air France, Air India, American Airlines. There we go. Oh, is that a vintage one? I don't remember that because it's metallic too. That is sharp. Boy, there's a lot of them in this pack. I didn't realize that. They must have added more to it since the last time I played. They definitely did. Delta, United Arab Emirates, German Air Force. Huh. Lufthansa, Royal Dutch Airlines, JetBlue, Pan Am, hell yes, that's classic. Pan Am went out of business decades ago, but that's awesome. I'm gonna use that. For sure. Qatar, Royal Canadian Air Force, yeah, they added all sorts of new liveries. That's cool. Well, I do believe that'll do it for me. I want to thank all the passengers that perished with me tonight. We had our trepidation, we were worried, but then all of our fears were assuaged. I mean, we felt a little better about ourselves. And then in the last few minutes, we were terrified. And that's a shared experience, damn it. So that will do it. Zero and Beezer especially, thank you for being on board for the entire flight. We had some people parachute out, which is understandable. It's late as hell. Special thanks, of course, to Rob for getting us, helping us solve what would have been a dangerous situation. Ultimately, it didn't matter, of course, because we were going to die anyways. And Plaz, thank you for joining us mid-flight. Not sure how that's possible, but you did, and I'm grateful. And Water Draco, and anybody else that may have been an actual stowaway, like a lurker, I appreciate you. Let's see, Beezer says, thanks Auto Fun Stream, I enjoyed it. Have a good night, everybody. The night that Otto, Zero, and Beezer found out how hard water is. Indeed. Glad I could demonstrate that for you. Would have preferred not to, but what can I do? Alright, folks. Thanks again. It was fun spending time with you, and I sincerely hope you enjoyed it as well. I will talk to you soon. In the meantime, as always, if you like this kind of thing, feel free to like this kind of thing. If you subscribe to this kind of thing, do just that. Hope to talk to you soon. Sleep well. Good night.